Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to PSGL Season 28. We are at Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium tonight for the Belgian Grand Prix. My name is Jess, and joining me, as per usual, we got Mr. Owen Wyatt. How you doing?
Hello, Jess. Hello, viewers. Welcome. We're here in Spa. Very much looking forward to this race. We've had a great season so far, haven't we? So, looking forward to more hijinks tonight.
Yeah, definitely. The circuit has many different layouts throughout its time, but it is a 7-kilometre long circuit today, and it has famous corners such as El Rouge, Radillon, Blanchimont, and the bus stop chicane. We'll talk a little about that later on. If you didn't watch last week's race, where have you been? Because last week's race was amazing. We saw a scrap for the win, and we saw Jan Power take the win in the end, but he's not here tonight. He's been promoted to F1 reserve, so he's not going to be racing full-time in this league. Replacing him is the reserve from last week. We got Fenny, who's now in the McLaren full-time, which is good news. So at least we got someone who was reserve filling in its place. But yeah, it's a shame that we're not going to see Jan Power racing in this league, but we may have an open championship fight on our hands potentially now.
Well, this he was pulling a good gap in the championship, so it does sort of pull that back. It means I think it's very, very close at the top. It'll be now Lars leading the championship, and it's 5 points between the top sort of 7 in the championship now, so that does just close it all up. Obviously a short season, we'll keep saying it, every race counts, and I guess if Jan Power out of the picture, it does just give these others a good chance to have a good fight.
Yeah, we'll go through the standings now, actually, with that 5-point gap between the top 5. Also, we got Lars leading on 17 points. In joint second, we got Lambrikina and Hadler. In fourth place, we got Luca on 13. Next is Antoine on 12. Gil got a podium last week, which was great to see. He's not here tonight, though. He's got 12 points as well, I believe. KJ in the other racing point on 11. Greeny is with 10 points. And we got Benny on 8. Ascom on 6. Fabi on 6, Petrus also on 6, Royal Valley on 5, then we got Bannon on 4, M Short on 4, Suku on 3, as well as CC Brennan, Toxic Tomato, and Igoro on 2 points, and Fenny, the only full-time driver yet to score. And the constructors, I'll need to actually check the constructors. I never checked the constructors before tonight, but I'm doing it now. Williams are leading by 5 points over McLaren, so I wonder if the new driver of Fenny is going to help McLaren maintain that second place and maybe elevate them to top. But we'll see as the session progresses, and we'll go straight into qualifying as everybody is about to start their flyer laps for the first time. And we've got a dry session, which is always a good sign.
Indeed. Dry session means I can go for it in the quali session. We'll get the best laps. And hopefully we have a dry race as well. No rain affected this week. I mean, we get just a normal race. I know we like the dramatic races, but we've said it now for the last 3 weeks. We still want to see exactly where everyone is, and this will be a good track for racing anyway, so hopefully it all goes to plan. We have a good race today. We have got a new driver as well, haven't we, in the Renault today. We've got Simon Marquez, and he is the first one on a valid lap, I think, so we might as well follow him round.
And he's invalidated.
Well, that's a good start. Enjoy the commentators curse him. We might have that a few more times.
Yeah, well, so I was riding on board with Fenny, who's on the lap, so we may as well stay in there. Another full-time driver. Most of the full-time drivers who were reserves to begin with, they actually got points on their first races full-time. So will Fenny take the trend now as he head towards the corner of No Name? So many corners you can call that name, but I call that No Name. Very understeery, that corner, as you brake just after. Just a little bit of dab on the brakes here. 7 gear heading towards Pooh on here. And this is one of the corners where we saw George Russell, the other corner where George Russell and Giovinazzi collided many moons ago last season. Now head past Campus and then into Stabilo. Now this will be potentially a few people will go off here, but I hope not, as people tend to go side by side heading towards Blanchimont. A bit of a risky move, but I've seen some people do it so far. His lap seems to be tidy at the moment. This is where you can go full power around here, around about 200 miles per hour, probably a bit higher than that as you head towards the bus stop chicane. Very important to get on the brakes nice and early here. Heading towards the final corner of, I can't remember what turn it is, turn 20, and it is a 141.5. Not the fastest in the session, but the slowest of the time so far. Fastest in the session is Ballina with a 140.8. Expect time to be around about 140.5 to 140.2. That was the pole time last season from F2 champion for last season, Benjamin. So, which is interesting. I wonder if we'll get similar to that time tonight. It is a dry session, a similar session to what we saw last season. So in the qualifying. So everyone on the softs early on though. So I hope that doesn't mean it's going to rain, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens as Lamakina comes across the line. He's gone on to fourth, very close to already. You can already see the gaps, 3 tenths between that top 6, just 2 tenths between the top 5 even as well. So plenty of close times out there. These are all, bankers anyway, though. It's Fabi slots in there in P4 as well. Because, as you say, we should be expecting quicker lap times at the end of the session. And I am also sort of wondering just how many people are going to be thinking about their ERS as well, because I noticed there's a few of them derating across the line, because you just never know what you can gain with that last corner. I don't know exactly how much you would actually think about it though, whether it's worth saving at some points on the lap, for example through the chicanes or something, to lower your ERS so you have that run across the line. Could be the difference when it is that close, but yeah, through those first runs, hope it stays that close. 3 tenths between the top 9 now.
It has been close all season. I was riding on board with Roll Rally, but he has invalidated, so I'm going to go on board with someone else. I believe Shaw, who wasn't here last week. He's here this week. F3 champion from last season. I believe he's done well in this track before. Looking to do well tonight as he heads past into past Dublin into Paul Frere now and into Blanchimont. Nope, he's not on a lap because I don't think he's on a lap because his ERS is on 0, so he must have binned it somewhere. He didn't invalidate, so I'm guessing he just wasn't happy with his lap, which is, to be fair, it's only their banker laps anyway, so they don't want to be pushing too much, don't want to show the competition what you're made of just yet. Only a few drivers yet to set lap times, but I can see there's going to be a lot more corners less corners to invalidate than Austria, but still some corners to invalidate at least, but we'll see what happens.
Not too sure what's going on with Suko at the minute. I don't know if you're seeing him, but I mean, he's got some sort of stuff going on. Said he was on a night lap, then he's gone P1, but then he's gone all the way through the pit lane and not stopped, and he's come back out again. Don't know if he's having some sort of connection problems or whether it's on my side, that. But he is apparently P1 on a 1 minute 40.7, but there's a few things going on there which don't look particularly normal. But yeah, we'll leave him to it. We'll see what happens with that. It seems quite unusual. We'll focus on Simo as well instead because he is on a lap.
Yep, as he passed turn 1 into La Source. Heavy braking zone there. Usually people could go around the inside very bravely there, as I found out a few times, sometimes by accident. But it never works out for me anyway, but the one time it did work out, I was quite surprised. So, but in the race, people probably try to do that. In the actual hot lap, you're probably going to be aiming to the left a little bit. He's passing Lacombe now. I didn't see his set to 1 split, so I didn't see how quick he was at the moment. But I haven't seen him in other leagues, so I don't know what his pace is in general. But obviously, he's fast enough to be in F2. There's no assist, one of the no assist tiers, the second highest no assist tier. There's 3 in all. Obviously, F3 is now a no assist tier now this season, added to the top 2 from PS4. So I can see he's probably gonna try and find it hard to adapt here with in PSGL, but I think he's been quite quick in the past, so we'll see what he's set to 2 split before I can judge anything. But you never know, you can climb up positions in the race. Heading into Blanchimont, he's purple set to 2. I wonder if it's the game lying to me or he's actually purple set to 2. We'll find out as he crosses the line, but yeah, I think it's looking quite good. His tidy lap so far. I think he's got, again, D-rate on the line, as you said. I wonder if people will try to go 0 across the bus stop chicane. I never tried that myself. May try that in the future, see if that gains me time, but probably not. Heads towards the final corner, past the bus stop. Let's see what he does. He's going to probably be in the 141s, I would say. Nope, I was wrong, 140.9. So it was close, 5th place. Pretty good for his for one of his first few runs. I think it was like near CC Brain's type of pace at the moment. But now he's much quicker than his teammate as World Rally's about to start a lap, as well as Caden Forbes, who's just about to finish a lap.
I could have sworn Suko was in the pits 2 seconds ago, and he's been teleporting around the track for me on my screen anyway. Like I say, it could be similar to Gilbert. This is why I'm bringing this up, because he obviously had this in Bahrain. but we couldn't really see what was going on with him. And I am worried that Suko, because he's sitting P1 at the minute. That's why it's worth pointing out, because we've been teleporting all over the show. Could be quite a mess, but he's apparently still on a lap now. Maybe this will sort it all out, but
fingers crossed.
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully we won't have any desync issues. Meanwhile, the sister team of AlphaTauri has got Luca his car into P2, looking good for him. I'm just trying to look at his previous results. He got his first podium this season, and he's looking to capitalise on that. He didn't get a good result in Austria, however. He got 10th place. Still points on the board for Luca in the AlphaTauri, but I'm sure he wants something more. And I can't remember where he finished last season in Belgium, but I don't think it was very good. So he's going to look to capitalise on his mistakes. And this is a track where I've noticed if a lot of people make mistakes, you could gain masses of time and masses of places due to it. So as long as you keep it clean, you should be all right. And I think that's what Luca's going to try to do today. But I know he's been improved since last season, so I have a feeling he could be another one to watch. Not many people have got pole and won the race this season, obviously, apart from Young Power. So everyone is looking to change that this season with poles to win ratio. But we will see as Luca goes past P1. Anyone else on a lap? I think Royal Valley's about to come across the line. He hasn't set a lap at the moment, but he comes across the line now. 5th place for him.
Yep, good lap for him. CC Brain is coming up next in the Renault. Suko's going back and forth between being on a night lap and being on a flying lap, but he is out there, so we'll see his time when he comes across the line. Ballner's invalidated. His teammate Lars was P1 earlier in the session, because you'll see that graphic is still sat there. He's back up to P1. Suko, who knows what lap time he's done, to be honest with you. His teammate's gone fastest. We know that for sure. Benny's gone up to 14th, only 1 place improvement, but improvement is an improvement. Which Williams is this. Hadler coming in the last corner, up by a 10th in the middle sector. You'll see when he comes across the line what he's looking at. He's P2. Made it a lot more time in that last sector. M Short out there, I think Ascom 2 to start in the lap. Here is his teammate coming through. One of the 3 drivers to not have a time on the board at the moment, and he's up to 14th. Half a second off, but that's what 14th is these days.
Yeah.
A few more cars coming. I think we've got KJ into the pits. His teammate Caden's had some PlayStation issues as well, and I think after that the rest of them are all on in laps. So we might be able to watch a flying lap with Caden. Or maybe even Ascom. He's backed off, hasn't he, Ascom? So, yeah, Caden's out there. Fenny's out there too on that lap. But, yes, still Patrice fastest.
Yeah, I've got to say, Caden Forbes did not get a DNF, which broke his record of, broke his streak of non-DNFs, which was great to see from him, even though he didn't go in the points. I think for him, it's an achievement in itself. It's kind of like a mechanical issue in real life for a PS4 starting to break, but luckily he's on there now as well. Let's just hope his PlayStation does not die in the process. But it is a long race, 22 laps. But it's close to 45 minutes anyway. But one of the longest laps on the calendar. And he's looking to replicate what Gil has done last week. Gil getting a podium as well. That's who Caden Forbes is replacing. And in terms of Simmer, or how you say it, Simon, I don't know how you say his name. He's replacing Greeny, who's not here again this week. So a bit of a shame there. But yeah, I'm seeing if anyone else is finishing their lap. No, they're not. 4 minutes left to go. It is crunch time. I think everyone's going to be on lower fuel modes for the last part of qualifying to see what they're really made of. Everyone is close to the pole time we've seen from Benjamin last season. Not quite. I think it was a huge gap between first and second last season. I mean, Benjamin had a 140.2 and the next one was a 140.5. So 140.5 is realistically what we could potentially see from qualifying as Caden Forbes goes past Paul French Blanchimont again. The clouds are starting to get a bit darker around Sector 2, at the end of Sector 2 anyway. He's not pushing at all. He's on 0 ERS, so I don't think it's going to be the best lap from him. So we'll follow someone else on a lap, and that's the other reserve driver tonight in the Renault.
Just for point out, the Suko, if you're looking at him, he's a ghost car out there. I wonder if he has just DC, because he has gone through the pit lane and not stopped again.
He's running on my screen.
Well, he's running here as well, but like I say, he's gone through the pit lane again and not stopped. He's just gone all the way through the pit lane and back out again. So he's not stopping off at the Red Bull garage. And I've never seen this before in a qualifying session. As long as his time is up there, hopefully it'll fix itself for the race. But clearly what we're seeing on the screen mustn't be what's happening on his screen. But, well, we saw this with Gil. But it's obviously, since he's in a fight for pole and we can actually see his times this time, it is still worth pointing out that he is there. He might be doing some weird things, but as long as his time's on the board, we'll follow that and we'll see what happens after. But there are some people starting laps out there. We've got Fenny, Caden.
Caden's in. Well, Caden's improved by 2 seconds. Well, he's had a time over 151, so I don't think he's pushing that much. Then he has invalidated, so he's going into the pits. His teammate's still in the pits, but you have to really go, I feel, a lap now because of how long it is. An out lap is longer than 141, I can tell you that. So you need to be going out now, because otherwise you're going to be in a lot of trouble. So I wonder if Toxic's starting last on purpose. Probably he is. Suku is on another lap, but everyone else is on out laps at this stage. Interestingly, Lars is going out on older softs, I believe. Actually, nope, he's not. That was his best lap time. Sorry, I've got it on best, not fitted. But yeah, Lars is on everyone is going on a lap now, and Toxic as well. So you've made it just in time. So times will improve as the last few minutes of qualifying happen. It's not going to happen for the Renault driver, as he's retired in the pit lane by the looks of things. So I guess he's happy with his lap. But everyone else is going out again. Fenny is in the pit, so he's not going to improve on his lap. Everyone else, though, Ballina's looking good. Purple set to 1.
Yep, he's flying in the Haas. Kieran ends up going P17 and he had a big slide out of that last corner. Might well have been able to get in the mix with the rest of them, but he's stuck in 17th now. We were saying about Toxic Tomato. He has now come out onto the track. Says Suku's in the pits. He's at, well, what on earth? Where is he now? He's not on the pits. He's on an outlet. I'm going to stop looking at him.
Yeah. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing what you're seeing now. He was in the pits and now he's going through Blanchimont. So yeah, now the stream is seeing it, folks. So it's not any of our ends. It's I think it's
his end. I think.
Yeah. So similar to what happened to Gil, but at least we can still see his time, like we said. Anyway,
let's just focus on the rest of them, I guess, and just sort of we'll point his time out when he crosses the line. We might not be able to tell when it happens, but here's Balner. We know he's on a lap. We know he's heading in towards the bus stop chicane. As I'll say a million times, it's not really a bus stop at all anymore, but oh well, tradition. As he comes up towards the line, we're expecting low 1 minute 40s, as you said earlier. He hasn't quite managed it, Balner, but he has gone up into P4. I think Elting there was crossing the line to start another lap. Toxic Tomato on one as well. Fabi, I think, was on a lap. He's just coming through. His teammate is starting a lap. So we'll see Fabi up by 5/100ths of a second. Would be enough to get him into the top 10 if he can keep that up. As he comes around the final corner and crossing the line, he's put the brakes on. He doesn't want the top 10. He wants a strategic pole position. Let's see if he can get it. Fenny on a night lap. So the next car up would be Hadler, but he's invalidated, so he's not going to get another lap time in today. The sole Ferrari of Benny is behind him, and he is on a lap, and he is up by nearly 0.2 of a second. And that would, again, get him into P10. But do you want P10? Do you want that P11? It's going to be quite the
is he going to slow down?
As Benny comes across the line. I don't think he can afford to. He's gone P8. It was so difficult to work it out. If you're already in 11th, it makes it a bit easier. But yeah, Benny's up to P8. AlphaTauri coming across the line. Lukit does not improve. We've got Lars. He's up by enough to go P1, but I think it was invalid, so he couldn't do it. We've got a Red Bull of Petrus. Has improved by further. He's on a 40.4. Suku's coming in the final corner. We've got a Mercedes as well. Ascon goes P14. We've got CC Brian as well. He's going to go up to P11, strategic pole position. And Suko, who knows? I don't think he's improved. Next up, we're going to have KJ Eltink again, coming across the line, and he goes 13th fastest. M Short up by 0.3 of a second. This would get him into the top 10 if he can keep this all up.
Invalidated.
You're right. Sorry, yes. Well spotted, invalidated. Toxic Tomato as well invalidated into the pits. Fabi looks like he's just on a slow lap, and obviously Suko is done as well, despite the graphics saying he's on a lap. He is done. Oh, it's not an out lap. Either way, Petrus is on pole. We can tell you that. We know that. Petrus on pole from Makina and Hadler, your top three.
I think we're having the same glitch as what we saw with Gil in Bahrain Short, unfortunately, where we're probably going to see Suku going out on like loads of laps and probably I think we just have to wait until the timing goes zero, unfortunately, which is not the best idea, but I hope we weren't going to get that glitch. But yeah, Petrus, it was not his first pole position in PSGL, so he's used to getting pole, hasn't converted it into a win yet, so could this be the race? Well, the Ardennes Forest is known for its rainfall, as far as I'm aware, so it could happen. It rained a bit. I think it was a dry to wet race last season in F2, I believe, but it wasn't enough for Inter, so they stayed on dry for the whole race, which was kind of chaotic towards the end, but hopefully we don't get similar like that. Please, just 20 seconds, and then we could go into qualifying results.
Yes. Well, if you think this is bad, folks, wait till you see the start of the race, where it'll be lap 2 on lap 1, it'll be lap 3 on lap 2, you'll have blue flags. They said they fixed it. They said they fixed this probably at some point as well, I'd imagine. And they're too busy making a new game where they haven't got all the tracks on yet, so... Well, you're all used to it by now. Suku's left the session. After all of that, he's left the session.
I think he's been told to.
Yeah. Well. Here's the order then. Petrus is on pole from Lamakina. Hadler is third. Suku fourth. I mean, he can get back into the session and see that P4 still. Antoine fifth. Balner and Lars fifth and sixth, or sixth and seventh, I should say. Luca in eighth. Then Benny and World Rally close out the top 10. CC Brain and same with the two Renaults getting those strategic pole position spots. I'd be very happy with that, I'd imagine. Racing Point in 13th with Elting, and then Fabi, Ascon, M Short, Caden, Fenny, and Toxic Tomato. Two McLarens at the back of the grid. Toxic Tomato, the only driver with no time. Top 16, separated by 6/10 of a second. Lovely and close.
Another close qualifying. I think, have we not had a qualifying where it was basically a big gap between first and I would say 16th? I don't think we had that in ages, to be honest. And I thought we're not gonna get any rain at the start of the race, but it looks pretty cloudy in the Ardennes Forest at the moment. So I'm guessing.
Ooh, yes.
We could. I hope we could get a dry session. I want to see a dry session. We haven't seen it since Bahrain Short, so I want it to be dry for the whole race to see everyone's pace. I don't want rain to affect it, but you never know, could make it interesting. So I'm torn between what I want at the moment, but yeah, soft to mediums is the strategy around here. Tyres last pretty much a fortune around here. 9 laps on the softs. The mediums could last 14 laps and the hards could last 19. So you don't really want to be touching the hards unless, basically, if there's rain at the end and you want to be on the hards until the rain period. But the hards, between the softs and the hards, 1.2 seconds. So, and Suku has joined in the moment that we don't want him to join, because if he joins before the formation lap, we get these glitches. So, oh no. And he's left. Okay, good. He's realised.
Well, his car is still there, but unfortunately he's not going to be able to take it, is he? Oh, that's painful, isn't it? Well, the formation lap is underway. And look at that, Suku's car just stopping. It's a shame, because he was asking for a restart, but there's nothing he can do. Maybe when he rejoins this time, it will do so. So we'll just see if he can get into his car. While we wait to see how that all pans out, let's just quickly look at the strategy. Top 10 all on the softs, along with CC Brain in 11th and Caden in 17th. The rest of the drivers are all starting on the mediums. Pretty simple stuff. As you say, the tyres last plenty of time on here. You don't really need the hards unless you're in a lap 1 accident.
I would say the strategy as well in terms of when they pit between, I would say, lap 6 and lap 7. Lap 6 if you want the cheeky undercut, but the pit window 7 to 9. So I wonder if people stuck in traffic are going to be the ones to go to pit on the end of lap 6, but we'll see. And the guys on the mediums, they're going to hope to last their tyres to around about lap 13 and 14, so they could go on the softs. Maybe lap 13 if they're lucky, but again, it depends on what the weather throws at us as well. But the tyres are not the best, the overcast condition, not the best place to be for the mediums. I found that out a few times, so I wonder how these drives are going to do. So
We've got Caden. Caden's panicking. He selected mediums and the game's put him on soft.
oh no. Yeah, I've seen that in the chat actually, in our Twitter chat that we have.
Hard to miss it. Full caps, full panic mode.
Yeah, I was wondering why Caden went on the softs. I thought you don't really want to be on the softs outside the top 10. Mediums will be the way to go. So I wonder if Caden will pit at the end of... Caden's going to hope for a safety car. If there's a safety car, I'm sure Caden will go on the mediums and pit on the mediums. He has to do that, but we shall see. I'm not going to get my predictions in because usually when I get predictions, they've been in. So we'll just watch the race unfold as we're waiting for Petrus and Man McQueen to line up into their grid slots, as everyone is as well. And hopefully we'll get the 5 red lights as intended and not 2 minutes later. But we will see as the final 2 McLarens are crossing the line as well. And the stricken Red Bull of Suku, I believe, as well. So
yeah,
he can't get control.
Can't get into this car. So we'll see if we get 5 red lights. Looks like CC Brain's got an X over his name as well. Hopefully this all sorts itself out though. That X is gone, but he has got the alien indicator on there, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. But let's see if we get some lights then. Yellow's in sector 3. That's a good sign. It means we're getting it all loaded, but whether we actually get light sequence starting is another thing. Everyone's ghosted on the grid. And obviously, if this takes too long, we'll have to restart the race or get Suko to leave the lobby because it doesn't really make much of a difference for Suko now. If he can't get in his car, just let him leave the lobby. But we'll see what happens. We'll hold on it. They're all unghosted now. We've got some strategy on our screen again, but no lights on the gantry.
No.
Poor man waving the green flag there. It's not really doing much help here.
Yeah, Suku needs to leave. Suku needs to leave.
Yeah, Suku, I think, is the problem here. Because obviously, if we can't get this done, we'll have to restart the race, and that'll just be really annoying. But we'll hold on it. We'll wait and see.
Restart. I've just been informed by our league admin himself, CC Brain, that we are getting a lobby restart. Which is...
Well, then. At least Suko can then regain his position, then, with the restart.
Oh!
So I guess it works for the better. Oh, game's crashed.
Game's crashed as well.
Gotta love Codemasters and their working game. Luckily we're not streaming through the PlayStation though, so
yes.
We aren't gone. We aren't gone.
That's one advantage of yeah.
Oh, look at you on a PS5. Is that? Oh, jeez, I can't look at it. No. Stupid PlayStation 5s, honestly. Oh dear.
You're hoping to get one, to be fair. Yeah,
well, of course they are, but they don't exist anymore.
To be honest, which sucks. It's we won't talk about that too much as we both try to get in. At least my game did. The PlayStation did not crash when the game crashed, because that's what happened on Tuesday when my game crashed. The PlayStation decided to crash. I had to unpull the cord, which was not the best idea. So. Yes, free choice of tyres for outside the top 10, but inside the top 10, the drivers will have to select the tyres that they qualified on, otherwise they'll get a big fat DQ, so I'll keep an eye on that, but it's quite easy really, top 10 softs, so that's good. So we're seeing if we've got an invite. Yes, we have got an invite, CC Brain being proactive as ever, as you can see, so hopefully you can get sorted quickly. And he's got to do the custom grid as well. So it will take a while, but yeah, we'll see what happens. This is not the first time this has happened in PSGL, unfortunately. Oh, jeez.
Well, this happened many times to me in PSGL. I've had my mod privileges removed again. No, this isn't a big deal, but we've had this long-running drama, and I want my mod back on.
Well, I've never had mod in PSGL before, so there we go.
So sad times. But no, so this glitch, this happened to us. It was Jacko car, wasn't it? I don't know if it was me and Austin in the box. We were doing Jacko car F2. It was Baku, and what happened was this exact thing happened. It killed my PlayStation this time. So at least when it's broken last time, it has fixed itself.
Yeah.
Here, but it does have the potential to go disastrously wrong. Luckily, it hasn't gone wrong. But this is it. The game cannot handle anything, unfortunately. So Yeah, well, what can you do? I guess Suko, he did his best to get back in. At least now, as we say, he gets another chance. But the problems were there straight away, weren't they, from the start of qualifying? We picked up on it. Nothing we can do about it. Hopefully there's no sort of repercussions for Suko, because it's not his fault. Not really.
No.
And look at the weather. You can see weather there, light cloud. So I'm going to assume that meant we weren't going to get any rain in the race.
Goodness.
But yes, these glitches, they happen. They claim they patched them. They don't patch them. So that's why we're all prepared for it. And that's why, we got this all turned around pretty quickly. So well done, everybody. We're getting the grid sorted out now. And hopefully we'll be getting to the racing sharpish.
Yes, like we said, the strategy soft memes or memes are soft. Hopefully we won't have a 1998 moment in lap 1, but it's not raining, so that is good to see. But 9 times out of 10, you are going to get a safety car around Belgium. I've seen it in many races. I don't think it happened last season. I can't remember if it did. I know it happened the season before where it's happened, but you know, it is known for its safety car, so don't be surprised if you see one as well. And the last 20 Belgian Grand Prix has been won by less than 5 seconds, so I wonder we'll see the same tonight. Probably with how close the field is, I think it's probably going to be even closer than that. So hopefully we'll get the green light soon when CC Brain sorts out the grid. He's got to select his car there as well, but I guess he'll do that once he sorts the grid out. So
I can't believe this. Even V8 field isn't mod. Connor, sort it out.
And he's F1 commentator and he's not mod,
I know.
so...
You sack me for him and we're both removed from our mod. At least I was, anyway. Ugh. Sort your management style out, Connor, for goodness sake.
Yeah, give him mod.
We're doing so much for you, Connor. Oh dear, anyway. This is where I fall apart, you see. We have to try and fill time now. This is probably why I got sacked, you see. Poor Austin tried to keep it all serious, and here I was taking the mick every 5 minutes. I'm doing it again. Oh, but yeah, it's taking the grid. It does take a little while because they obviously have to go and find the grid from qualifying. We're also going to make sure that we don't get everybody messed about on the tyres. Though it was pretty simple, wasn't it? CC Brain and Caden were the only ones who had chosen the soft tyres outside the top 10. The rest were means, and obviously the top 10 all qualifying themselves as well. And yes, even if Caden made the mistake, he can't revert that mistake. So we've got to keep our eye on him, just in case he says, well, I meant to do this. Because I think he has to stick with his original decision, whether it was accidental or not.
Yes, I thought you get, outside the top 10, you'll get free choice regardless. If you made a mistake, then boom, really, but...
Well, I think I don't know if they would bring it back. It's just, I don't know, the sure to say, well, on the original start, you were going to do this, so, you know, why aren't you doing it again? That's sort of what I'm thinking about. I'm not 100% sure. You haven't got more as well? This is a joke. But yeah, we'll see how it all works. I always get mixed up with this rule, to be honest with you. But as long as the top 10 definitely choose the right tyres, then we're fine. Because I think it happened in F1 a while back where someone chose the wrong tyre and it just created a whole mess, and it's annoying.
Yeah, and it's annoying. They will get penalised for it if that's the case. So we'll keep an eye on that. And hopefully the drivers give people enough time to get their setups, because they need to choose their setups too. So let's hope nobody readies up too early and is too keen. So...
yeah, good point.
Yeah, and the drivers have readied up, so that's good. That's good news.
Very quick turnaround, like I say. That's good stuff. Well done to the F2 admins, etc.
There's only one admin tonight because Greenie's not here. So well done, CC Brain. Thank you very much. And we're in round 4 of the season, and we still, I can't believe it. After this round, we've got 6 more rounds to go, and then we will know who's our F2 champion. Still, we don't know who's going to be on top at this point. We know Lars is, but only by 1 point to the Alfa Romeo. Lamborghini had a very bad start last week. He had a very good race in Singapore when it was raining. There's no rain today. We'll see the actual pace in the dry. So, as we try to load in now, we are in. Good news.
Just got confirmation there in our chat, by the way, just saying that, yeah, the top 10 obviously had to start in their quality tab, but the rest can do whatever they want. So that's just that.
So Caden could pick the mediums.
Yes. Unless, of course, he makes the same mistake again. No one readying up too early as well, which is good. Means they'll all remember to put their setups on, etc. Just Obviously, they can maybe adapt them a little bit still here, just so they can maybe add a little bit of extra weighing or do whatever, just to make their race a bit easier. But yeah, for the most part, it should be all sort of normal service resumed. And obviously, when they start running up, we got the timer counting down. We'll do another formation lap. Everyone's here, so we shouldn't have any issues with the start lights again, and hopefully we'll get these 22 laps underway.
Yeah, so we'll see if people behaved and actually chose the right tyres inside the top 10. We don't need to worry about outside the top 10. They can do whatever they want. Some people may go on the hards, which is not the best idea, but we will see. So on the formation lap now, and I hope Suku doesn't have any problems either. So I'll get the tyres up, and everyone has behaved themselves, so no penalties. And Caden selected the right tyres for once. Get on, Caden. So
yes,
top...
CC Brain's changed his mind as well, look.
Yeah, so everyone inside the top 10 are on the softs. People outside the top 10 are doing the alternate strategy on the mediums. I've seen it work multiple times. Alternate strategy OP. CC Brain is alternate strategy pole position. If he could get a good result here, he could potentially win this race, as long as he doesn't get involved in any incident. His teammate not that far behind, so you can tactically help your teammate in the race, just not in qualifying, because slipstreaming is banned. I'm just trying to see if there's any stewards' notes for this race. There was one incident from last race, which was a racing incident, but I think the only point which is different from last week is be ready to slow down heading towards El Rouge and Radion, because otherwise that's where incidents happen. So don't go full throttle there, just lift off a little bit and you should be fine. Some people could take it full throttle if you're careful enough, but we'll see, of course. But we'll run down the order again for those of you that have forgotten, because it has been, how long has it been now? 10 minutes? I don't know. But anyway, we've got Petrus on pole, then we got Lamakrina, Hadler, Suku, Antoine. He's had a good quali, 5th place after a shocker last week. Balliner in 6th. We got Lars in 7th, Luca 8th, Benny 9th, Royal Rally 10th. Then we got CC Brain, Simo, KJ, Fabi, Ascom, M Short, Caden Forbes, Fenny, and Toxic Tomato. And the ones outside the top 10, they're going to have less benefit now, because the ones on the inside the top 10, they get fresh tyres now, so they don't have to worry about worn tyres from qualifying. So that's interesting to know. And hopefully we can get this race underway. Hopefully no more lobby issues now, and we can actually give you a race to commentate now. So let's get started. I'll leave you to it.
So then, Petrus lines up on pole position. It is a very short run down towards turn 1, so don't just sort of get there reasonably quickly. You shouldn't be expecting any big changes, but you never know what these people are like. They might fancy an opportunistic move as the two McLarens come round the final corner at the back of the grid. They're going to have a lot of work to do, but they should have good pace. Certainly top of Tomato anyway. Don't really know much about Fenny yet, but yeah, a lot of movement could happen in this race, and it will be very interesting to see how it goes. How are the medium runners going to handle it? The soft tyres that are extra fresh tyres, how are they going to handle it? We've got lights on, we've got Petrus on pole, Lamakin a second, and we are away in Belgium as we head towards turn 1. Let's see how they all get on. Who's going to take any risks? Petrus stays in the lead. Side by side, Suko with Hadler for P3. Lamakina stayed well in second place. He's going to be looking for that toe up the hill. But it's already a pretty nice gap, isn't it, for Petrus? I wonder if Lamakina had some sort of slide, or whether he's doing this on purpose to get a real slingshot the hill as he heads through on the slipstream all the way up towards Lake Colin chicane. He's on the overtake button as well. But I don't think there's going to be any moves there. They're all keeping very well behaved. Petrus holds on to the lead. Side by side, a little further back, we've got the Haas of Lars and Luca in the AlphaTauri going side by side. And the AlphaTauri Luca should hold on there. I don't imagine Haas will be able to hold it right outside, but he's given it a good go. But I have a feeling they had to back it off eventually. There's good fighting now. We'll see who comes out on top, and it is indeed the AlphaTauri.
Yeah, he's done very, very well to climb his way up the order. The other AlphaTauri getting in a move with Benny as well. World Rally stays in 10th place. CC Brain's not had a good start. He's dropped down one position, down to 12th place. Same with Hadler, Antoine and Lars. They dropped down one position. Suku, Balliner and Lucas gained 1. KJ's the bigger one of the biggest gainers outside the top 10 with 2 places, as well as M Short with 3. Ascom on 1. Toxic Tomatoes gained 2 as well. Caden Forbes has not had a good start there, however, down to last place. But I don't think there's damage, because everybody is close enough to each other, so that's great to see. Patrice starting to pull away ever so slightly. Luca having another battle, this time with Antoine, going side by side through Blanchimont into the bus stop chicane. Is they going to hold the line? with the AlphaTauri. He does, and he does the move actually up into P6. He's making ground already. Another position gained, and we got. I'm not sure if it's a yellow flag or if the timing glitches.
Toxic Tomato's been in the wall, and his teammates into the pits as well. I wonder if they've had some sort of contact there.
Yes.
There's news front wins for both McLarens, and that's a disastrous start. But at the front there, it says Lamborghini, but it's not. You can see Patrus is still ahead of him, although he is ghosted. I hope we don't have any more lobby issues. I mean, it says it's lap 3. There's blue flags. Like I say, they haven't fixed it. They claim they fixed it, but they haven't fixed it. So they are all still in the right positions. It will fix itself now. We're back onto that too again. Blue flags are still there though, but do ignore those. Even though I brought attention to them. Still. We'll ignore it. We'll ignore it now. Anton's front wing broken.
Yeah, and Lars got past him, so I wonder if Antoine is covering any damage or anything. He's got, I think it's missing a bit of his end plate by the looks of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he must be struggling on downforce for sure, and it's not going to help if you're trying to get past into Blanchimont later on, as Benny tries to get past as well. Yes, he's struggling. No banging wheels, boys, which they don't, and I think that Antoine's going to drop down the order, so I think there's no harm in him pitting. He's probably thinking a safety car would be helpful right now, but you could get away with not pitting. It's not that costly, but it could ruin your race if you're not careful. And you can see the straight line speed of Benny there. That's helped him a little bit up into 8th place. I wonder if Benny's going to get past Lars soon. Fenny with the first penalty. World Rally gets past Antoine too into the bus stop. So 2 AlphaTauris now past the Williams driver. Everybody else just seems to be running away with it right now, apart from maybe Lars, who is cropped to a bit on Luca as they head towards turn 1. More blue flags again, which is not ideal. But I can see Lars very impressive. He lost a bit in the first lap, but he seems to be going back at it again on Lucas, so it'll be interesting to see, as Caden Forbes has retired in the pit lane. So I wonder if it's his PlayStation or if he had damage or anything, I don't know, but he has retired in the pit lane. So that's his race over.
Yep. We've got DRS now. No one making any moves at the front. A little further back there we have got World Rally getting by Benny now. So it's 2 cars in 2 laps for the AlphaTauri driver. As you see, Antoine also staying out. It's this middle sector where he was losing it last time, and it obviously had knock-on effect in his final sector. So we'll see how far he falls this lap. I do sort of wonder why he has stayed out, to be honest, because it is just going to cost him too much time. As KJL think the lead ultimate strategy driver gets through to Pouan, M Short and CC Brain will follow. And I wonder if anyone in that group is going to try and take advantage of this slow car and maybe try and nick a position here and there, because yeah, they're going to be in there scrapped for the whole race, these guys, and yeah, this is probably a good chance to make positions up, because while it can be easy to overtake when you're in a DRS train, it won't be as easy, if not actually quite difficult. So yeah, looking for any muggings happening. But so here comes M Short again, look, so he'll close up. Antoine he'll fall outside the second range of Eltink before long, so it's going to keep costing him every lap this. Meanwhile, up at the front, no one making any moves again. I doubt we'll see much in that front scrap, but you never know. It could be slightly different from what we're used to, but it tends to just be a waiting game, doesn't it? Until eventually one person does something a little bit later on in the race. But Lars, if anyone, would be the one looking to make that move. So let's actually see him up the hill, because it is only 0.2 of a second. Maybe it's worth going for this one. But let's see. Closing and not closing enough. So yeah, that's sort of it. Even if you're that close, it's not really worth it. It is worth it if you're M Short, though.
Luke has gone off a little bit of a slide from him, and that's said Lars, thank you very much, as he gets past in Lecombe, and he's up to 6th place. So I don't know what Lucas had. He had a bit of a tank up by the looks of thing, or he lost it on traction heading into Lecombe. It looked like a bit of a slide there. So Lucas down to 7th. I wonder if Royal Valley will take advantage of that soon if he gains positions. But Lars is on fire right now and could catch up to Ballina too. I wonder if there could be any team orders from the 2 Haas cars, but we will see. But yeah, Luca seemed to be in control before the corner, after the Kemmel Straight, but before the Kemmel Straight, after the Kemmel Straight, he lost it. So at least his car's intact, I think. He doesn't have any damage, so But in real life, I think it wouldn't be good with the sensors, by the sound of things.
Oh!
What happened?
CC Brin, massive accident. Who's going to pick him up? I don't think anyone will, actually. There's a very lucky escape there. He lost it behind Antoine. And, yeah, out of the race he goes. No sign of a full force yellow.
I want to see what happened.
Nothing.
I want to see what happened.
He's just gone wide, hasn't he? And he's lost it on the exits.
Yes.
I forget what corner you call it, but it's before the launch.
His car's just gone. His car just gone, so...
Yeah, well. He's out anyway. It's the exit of the corner that Toxic's mouse going through now. It's getting what it's called now, obviously, but he's hit that bar and he's come across.
It was Paul Frere. It was Paul Frere.
Yes.
I think I pronounced that right.
I'll trust you on that because I forgot what it's called.
Well, I've done a lot of Belgian races recently, so I know all the corners. Yeah. So if I don't know the corners, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt there. Just sorry. Meanwhile, Eltink has actually got by a soft runner now, which is interesting, going past Benny. So he seems to have some pretty good pace out there. And up into P9.
I wonder if the crossover point is now for these soft runners to go onto the mediums. Because, KJ, the Delta, I would say, the mediums are probably the best tyre for him. And he's going to be on fire once again. So, 6 temps separate between him and Roll Rally. So, I wonder if that's the AlphaTauri's, one of the AlphaTauri boys' job to potentially go into the pits to cover off KJ's lightning pace. Because that's how you can tell whether going to the pits now will be the best decision. Obviously, pitting now will be too early, but next lap, definitely, I think one of the AlphaTauri boys will pit. Not both of them, because you don't really want to get double stacked. So I would say one of them will probably lose out from the overcut, I would say. So KJ benefiting from it, and I think Royal Rally definitely losing it. Or it may be that his tyres are gone kapoof, which is a bit of a shame right now. But yeah, the tyre degradation, like we said, not too bad. Like we said, the gap's still stable between first and second. As it stands in the championship, the Alfa Romeo will be leading the championship, as he's 1 point behind the championship leader of Lars, and he'll be way ahead of Lars at this stage, because Lars is in 6th position. So Alfa Romeo doing a great job, and I think he's glad that there's no rain to spoil proceedings right now. He's got the DRS, I think, a little bit too further back on this occasion, though, to get the move done. What about KJ, though, on Royal Rally? Can he get the job done on him? Nah, but maybe he doesn't have to, because World Rally will probably pit next lap, or this lap.
Yeah, the only sort of fact we've got going on is still really the people overtaking Antoine as we lose McLaren or Fenny in the pit lane. But Antoine, he had a real scrap going on towards the bus stop chicane, was nearly overtaken by 2 or 3 cars into there, but eventually held position. But yeah, this is not worth it for him now. It's just lost him so much time, Antoine. I mean, he's hemorrhaging time. Look at him. He's so slow. Fabi just easily breezes past into Pouon. And now, there it goes same way. He's last now, effectively. Apart from Totti Tomato had his incident earlier. So, he just went from 5th to 15th. Not really ideal at all, is it? I don't know what can save him. Even a safety car, he's at the back anyway, so... And they'll all have to pit, so he's not going to get anything from that. It's not like he's already made a stop. He's just in big trouble now.
He's in no man's land, Antoine, so I wonder if anyone of the front lot is going to blink first and pit a lap earlier. Petrus does not. Lamborghini stays out. Pretty much everyone's staying out. Apart from Lars. Lars blinking first and going for the early undercut. He's into the pits and going on to the 7 mediums. They can make it to the end. Only just. So we'll see what happens with him. I think it will be the mediums that he goes on to. No one else blinking first. So I wonder if he's covering off his teammate Banner. That's probably the reason why he's pitted early. But we'll see. I think everyone else will have to pit next lap to respond to Lars.
Here comes Eltink. Surely this is his move now. Because World Rally still hasn't got the DRS, and Eltink is just on his rear end. It's an easy move to make this one, and he is now up into P7.
Yeah, great move into Lecom. Unfortunately, the camera didn't cut it fine there. It wasn't. I couldn't really see it much, but KJ up into 7th place, and he's I think he could be a contender for the run of this race if he could get past the medium runners at the end, because he'll be on fresh softs at towards the end of the race, whereas everyone else will be on medium tyres as well. He almost got the win in Bahrain short, but unfortunately he had the penalty, so he is still yet to get a win. The only ones to have win is obviously Young Power, who's not here, and Lamborghini, and it was Antoine, but Antoine had the penalty. So it was Lamborghini, Young Power, who both had the wins this season. We're looking to add a third different winner to that. So Patrice now going through Blanchemont along with Lamborghini. They have to pit soon. Suku, I think, will stay out another lap, which won't be ideal for him, but you're going to probably lose out more time if you pit the same lap as your teammates. So we'll see what happens as they all head through the bus stop now. No one's pitting. Patrice stays out, but his rival pitting.
Yeah.
And Suku pits.
Patrice might have made a mistake there staying out. As has Balmer, potentially. I just don't see how that's going to work out for them. Because the undercut will surely work for the guys behind. But we'll see. We'll see if anyone gets held up in the pits. Have a look at Lamborghini, see if he has any sort of holding up problems. No, he's fine. So surely the undercut works. Where's Lars going to be in all this as well? Obviously he pitted for all this. He's heading through turn 1 now. You can see him just in the background, just in front of Hadler. And challenging Suku. So that's net P3 right there that Lars is fighting for. Could become net P2. If that's how good his undercut is, you can imagine how their undercut on P1 Patrice is going to be. Here comes Lars, side by side with a Red Bull driver. The outside line is a good line for overtaking here if he's got enough confidence. Oh, and there's a big slide from Suku as there's a little bit of contact. He's had to back out in the end. But Lars, right on the back of Lamborghini, he is flying along right now. This is working out beautifully for the Haas.
Yeah, I did say someone will do it, and I didn't think it would be Lars, actually. I thought it would be one of the AlphaTauri boys, but fair play to Lars. I think it was the right call for him pitting when he did, but the end he's going to struggle. But for now, he's going to try and gain quite a few positions. And next up on his radar is Lamborghini for P2. A net P2 at the net P3 actually, or P2. I don't even know because Patrice is still out, so we'll find out where they all are in terms of positions once these top two on the track at least pit. So Patrice,
one more thing,
he's going to pit. Yeah,
he's emptied his DRS tank as well, Patrice. So he must have been flying. But the problem he's going to have now is he's going to come out of the pits, and if he has lost out, he's got nothing to fight back with. As Elting takes the lead in the race. So using all this extra energy might have been a bad idea, but he's come out of the pits now. Let's go and see Lamborghini then. We were sort of expecting, at least I am, I'm expecting him to be well in the lead of this thing, but he's already ahead. Lars ahead too, yeah, I mean, that is...
Yes. Oh, well, maybe.
Well, no, Lars should still get him. He should still get him, but it just depends on the run that Patrice has on the colder tires. Or maybe he'll be able to get a move done on Lamborghini, we'll see. But I would still expect Lars to have a chance here, but nah, he's just not close enough, is he? And Patrice is using this to good effect, because obviously Lamborghini doesn't have the DRS, of course. But still, he has lost one position anyway, Patrice. And yeah, Lamborghini, net race leader.
Yeah, net race leader, and if he keeps this up, he'll be the championship leader at the end of this race if he wins this and is ahead of Lars. So basically two of the rivals near each other, and he's got Patrice in that little sandwich there. But yeah, as we lost another driver, 2 McLarens out of this race now.
That's an accident as well.
Safety car? We got a safety car? It's not telling me if it's a safety car.
Safety car. It's safety car, Jess. That is interesting for the guys on medians. Do they pit?
For Haas.
Because Salt wouldn't get to the end, but Hard certainly would. Do you want to sit track position over a fast set of Salt at the end? Because the whole pack is going to bunch up, so they're not going to be able to build a gap. So surely these guys on the medians who haven't pitted will pit, and it'll be the hard compound tire they go for. I don't see them having any other choice.
Not ideal.
So let's see what happens.
Not ideal for the likes of KJ, who was hoping to go onto the softs, but he has no other choice. And is M short?
Mercedes will have to stack, and that's why Aston's going to stay out, so he's going to do something different. The rest of them are pitting. To be honest, Aston maybe should have pitted anyway, to be honest. I mean, getting stacked isn't going to be as bad as, you know, having the whole field overtaking you. But, well, it's soft tyres. Soft tyres for Elting, soft tyres for M Short. Of course, a safety car will last a few laps, so maybe they still think it's worth it. That'd be interesting, though. Let's see where Elting ends up. He's going to slot in. I don't think Suku will be allowed to keep that position. He doesn't, so Elting will be a net 4th place. The others fall a little bit further behind, but it is L-Tink who was quick earlier. He's going to be on those softs, and he's in a really nice position now.
I think the softs could just about do it. I think they can, because we're on lap 10 now. On normal race trim, it lasts 9 laps, but they're going to be on these tyres for a good few laps in safety car trim in not that much good pace. So I think they will just about do it. So I wonder if KJ is... played a strategy masterclass or a disaster class. We'll find out at the end. Kind of reminds me of what Lando Norris did yesterday. He's going to be fast at the start of the safety car restart, but at the end, that's where he's going to struggle. But I'm sure he's going to take more positions than losing positions, and I think he'll lose more positions if he's on the hards. And the only one that's opted for the hards, the ones who are pitted, is the reserve driver of Simo. Everyone else has either gone for softs or softs actually. M Short, Fabi, Benny. I wonder if Jeff's told them to go on softs. Antoine though, did Antoine start on mediums? I'm just trying to think.
No, he was on softs.
Oh yeah, he was on softs. Yeah. Because he pitted. Yeah,
there, isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, I do agree. Those softs will make it to the end because he'll be under the safety car condition for a couple of laps on them. So that should do fine. He'll be wearing those maybe 1-2% per lap.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not as little as that, but certainly a lot less than full race trim. So I think he should be fine. And regardless, he should be able to get his moves done early, hopefully. But yeah, what's Ascom going to do? Surely he's going to have to pit, but it's a lose-lose situation for him now. He should have just sort of pitted with his teammate. He won't lose that much, mind you, because all the guys that are pitted from Short down are still outside the top 10 anyway. He'll be able to join the back of the train, but he's going, well...
Staying out.
He's going to stay out. Interesting.
I'm interested to see why he's not pitted, because you're going to lose so much more time if you're not in a safety car. 18 seconds is the time you lose outside the pit lane, in the pit lane, under non-safety car conditions. Safety car conditions, I would say 13, 12 seconds. So yeah, he's going to lose a chunk of time. So I'm guessing he's regretting that decision. Meanwhile, Antoine's pitted again. I'm guessing he's going to go for softs. Surely he's going to go for softs. Nope, another set of mediums. So did he get damage? No.
No, he's just going to take mediums. Interesting. I wonder why he's doing that, to be honest. But maybe Ascal's going to start to try and maybe help his teammate out. Maybe try and hold the pack up a little bit. Because I don't see what else option he's got now. Because he had, if he was going to pit, he would have pitted, right? And he has to pit. There's no stop strategy. You can't do it. So it's illegal. So he has to pit at some point. Yeah. Must be some Mercedes team play going on there. It would be good to see, wouldn't it? It'd make it quite an interesting race if the leader's holding the whole pack up. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I imagine the safety car will probably be in this lap as well.
Yes.
We'll find out. Just like I put the safety car lights, because I'm not sure we'll actually get a message on the screen about it, because the game is still very glitchy today. Obviously, you'll see there's no safety car graphic on the screen. We had to find this out through the little LED
boards.
lights, LED boards on the side of the track. So, yeah, love a functioning game, I do. But let's just wait and see. Fowler, has he just picked up a penalty? Because I'm not getting any messages on that, but I think that's just a new penalty on his screen, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'm not getting any messages either on penalties.
Yeah.
But I'll keep in track with penalties for now. So we've got Ascom on 6, Balliner on 3, and Simo.
Safety car in.
Is on 6. Yeah, it's not telling me on the safety car's in.
Yeah, the lights are off though. The lights are off on the side of that safety car. So that's how we know it's going in, and also you can see Ascom now is holding the pack up. When's he going to go? Is he going to go early? If he wants to help his teammate out, surely he'd go as late as humanly possible and just try and keep his teammate as close as possible. Maybe he's just trying something different for himself, but surely he hasn't really got much more of an option to try and just help his teammate. But let's just wait and see when he goes. He's got the whole pack nicely bunched up. Look out for any collisions in there. Hopefully they'll all stay nice and sensible. Safety car is in the pit lane now. So, Ascom can bolt now if he wants to, and he will do. Away he goes. So, Luca and Ballner are already trying to battle away into the last chicane. I don't think you can pass until you get to the start line, though, so there's no point doing that. And look at that, big defense from Ascom. He has stayed out as well, so yeah, this is going to be interesting.
Yes, but I wonder what Banner and Luca were doing, actually, and Luca's already dropped position, so I wonder if they made contact before the safety car came in there. So I'm guessing Luca's dropped down to 10th now, and he's already got M Short breathing down his neck too. Lamborghini on the back of Ascom. I'm sure he's going to get past him soon, but let's watch the battle with the soft runners to see if the soft runners have done the right thing with pitting. At the moment, it looks like it is, because the delta difference is at 6 tenths per lap. He can't get the move done on this occasion on Luca, though. He doesn't want to get held up too much, so I'm sure he's going to probably go for a send soon. Not probably into no names. It's going to be understeery as anything. Fabi's going to probably find it difficult to get past any driver unless Luca's in front of him at the moment. So it all rests on M Short, and KJ is not getting past Lars either. So I'm guessing maybe the DRS, when the DRS is activated on lap 14 where we get the overtakes, but the softs can't. The softs don't want to be held up by the medium runs, because otherwise there's no point being on the softs. Oh, has this front wing damage on the Alfa Romeo of Fabi, by looks of things, as he almost on M Short. So that's a bit of a shame there.
Ferrari's been off the track as well, and Benny. And yeah, as you say, damage on one of the cars. It does appear to be Fabi, because he's the one who's falling back, isn't it?
Yes, it was Fabi.
Yes, it is him. Now, look at these guys up the front. We've got Eltink already passing Lars, and we're 3 wide for the lead nearly, but no moves being made, and Ascom continues to stay out. Eltink will be loving every second as he's right onto the back of the leading pack, and there's nothing that leading pack appears to be able to do at the moment about the race leader. No DRS yet, remember, so that will make it a little bit more difficult. But here's Eltink right on the back of Petrus, trying to close in. He's just going to back it off, because we'll just sit back and watch. Lamborghini is closing up this time, so he will surely be able to overtake. But Ascom is doing his best on the ERS to try and halt the progress of the Alfa Romeo, and he's doing a pretty good job of it as they head into the bus, or not into the bus, to the Lake Con chicane. And yeah, Ascom has held on to the race lead. Good stuff from him then. And Petrus now all over Lamborghini, trying to go around the outside to regain the lead he lost in the pit lane, or at least regain the track position that he lost in the pit lane to Lamborghini. But he's unable to do so. Eltink now has a penalty as well, so he has now really got to get a move on and get ahead of the 2 cars in front of him. But yeah, just be careful with it.
Yeah. The sell-by date of the mediums will be very, very soon, in a pretty much 3 or 4 laps time. Lap 14 in normal race trim, but since it was a safety car, lap 17. So he'll probably hope, Ascom, for another safety car, which is probably not going to happen, let's face it. So Ascom will really need to pit in the next few laps, I would say, in order to benefit hugely from this.
Eltink,
Eltink's going to go for the move.
Yeah, Eltink was really thinking about it. Sorry to interrupt it, but I thought he was going to go for it there. They might still end up going for it.
He will, I think he will.
This is where they all went side by side in the last lap, and Eltink just showing himself, looking for the exit line. DRS will be enabled on the way up the hill, and if Eltink's serious about this, maybe if he gets by Petrus into turn 1, he'll get the run on Lamborghini up the hill and maybe get 2 birds with 1 stone as he goes through on Petrus. I don't really see him having a good exit, Petrus, and he doesn't. So Eltink now will get the DRS on Lamborghini, he'll have the DRS on Ascom. He's got more ERS to use, Eltink, and we'll see what he can do about getting this second place or even the race lead. But surely Lamborghini will get by Ascom on this attempt. Oh yeah, he will. He will. There's no real way. I don't think Ascom can defend it this time. He doesn't. So Lamborghini takes the race lead back, and Lars all over this as well now, as Eltink struggles to find a way through the Mercedes. Is there going to be anywhere else he can do it on the sauce? He will have a lot more grip, a lot more chances to go for maybe a slightly unorthodox move. And with the penalty, he does have to get the move on.
Suku almost hit the back of Lars there. Again, I think a few people being a bit too greedy there, but Lars there doing an excellent job. No penalty so far. KJ's on 3 seconds though. So even if KJ gets the win, he's not gonna actually get it because of the penalties. He's got 3 seconds, whereas the race leader has got none. So even if KJ passes these two, Lamborghini at the moment will still be your race winner if the race was to end on this lap, which it won't. We still got plenty of laps to go of this Grand Prix, so KJ's got to get a move on, get past these drivers so he can get rid of that deficit and try and be clear of 3 seconds of the Alfa Romeo. but he's got Ascom to worry about first. So they go through Blanchemont. This should be an easy move for KJ this time, as Ascom is due to be pitting soon, but Ascom is defending very nicely. But yeah, no challenge there from the Mercedes driver, as KJ's up into second now, and he's going to try and find 1.5 seconds on Lamborghini now. M Short, the other soft runner, gets past World Rally, and Patrice also gets past Ascom. So yeah, Ascom is the crossover point, I think, between the old mediums and the newer mediums, and the newer soft is now, I would say, for Ascom.
Yeah, but remember, I'm assuming Ascom's still out there to sort of help his teammate out in a way. And, well, he is holding up a very nice train for him, isn't he?
Yes.
And he now obviously has DRS of his own, and that gives him a pretty nice run on Petrus. But Lars will still try and go up his inside, will he? Risky move this, he doesn't decide to do it. And M Short not really able to take much advantage of it. He can see his teammate, he can see a lot of good positions in front of him, and he hasn't got any penalties, remember, as well, so it could still work out. Yeah, it is a bizarre strategy from Ascom. He is just abandoning his own race here for his teammates' benefit.
I wonder if Ascom is not in any party or anything, because surely there's someone in there that's telling him why haven't you not pitted. I think that's probably the case for Ascom, I would say, but I wonder if he's just following the strategy to the books. I'm sure Jeff must have told him to pit, but he's probably ignored it. He's probably one of those ones who are not responding to changing strategy, but he's probably learned his lesson. And if there's any other Belgian races that go similar to this, he'll probably improve on that mistake and probably pit a bit earlier. So,
well,
yeah.
Perhaps he might not trust that the sauce could have gone to the end. Maybe we'll see like the L-Tank, etc. have tyre issues at the end. So maybe he just didn't trust it and didn't want to pit. But, well, he's suffering anyway, regardless, unfortunately. Will he pit this lap? No, still staying out then. M Short up in 8th at the moment. All over Hadler, Suko, Lars, who's not actually in the DRS zone of Ascom this lap.
No.
So that's bad news for the Haas driver. L-Tank is now in the DRS range of Lamborghini. He has also got more ERS than him as well. So we'll see how that one pans. I don't think we're going to get any major changes this lap. Suko all over Lars, though, might fancy a position here as he heads onto the DRS straight. Obviously no DRS for the Haas, as I said, and he will be up into 5th place, Suko.
I think that's what majority of the moves, I think, have been just like DRS passes, really. It hasn't been aggressive overtakes, apart from, like I would say, bus stop, where there's no DRS. But that's what you get sometimes with Belgium, unfortunately. But Lamborghini still leads. KJ in 2nd, Petrus in 3rd. M Short, though's got to get past Hadler anytime soon. He was right on the back of Hadler's gearbox there, heading past No Name and now into Pouron, but unfortunately can't take advantage. But you can see everyone from the top 5 pulling away, so M Short's definitely got to see what he could do. So Lars covering off both Hadler and M Short by the looks of things. So Lars, I would say, is doing a good job out of these 3 at the moment, but I don't think M Short will be very happy being held up by these lot. Meanwhile, the other soft runners of Benny and Fabi, they're not doing, obviously Fabi had contact earlier. Benny not doing a good job either on the softs. So the only ones doing good on the softs are M Short and KJ Eltink at the moment.
Do you wonder if Lars is going to pit with that front wing damage this rate? Oh, Hadler, massive save. Surely M Short's going to get him now.
Yeah,
will he get Lars as well? Because I'd say Lars' front wing damage is too much as Ascom pits. And M Short surely it's an easy move on Lars. He's losing a good 2 seconds per lap. Don't want to keep on this too long. It does feel a bit of a neutral move, but look at the train that Lars is creating now. And just in front of this, though, Eltink looks like he's going to try and go for the lead now. And after that, he'll have 5.5 laps to pull a 3-second lead. Can he do it? Here he goes. The move for the lead should be the easy bit here, to be honest with you. And there he goes. So leading the race now, Eltink has to make 3 seconds. And back to Lars. He's not even using the ZRS in the straight. He's happy to let M Short go. M Short into the top 5 now. And World Rally and Balmer are going side by side. There's contact. World Rally's going to have a spin. And he's been collected by Simo as well. Both facing the wrong way. Bad news for them. But no damage for World Rally. It's only Simo who's going to have to pit with damage there.
Simo's on the hard zone.
Trying to get by Balmer as well. Lars really is just holding this all up.
I wonder if that's a strategic call from Lars to hold everybody else up to maybe help maybe Banner as well get back into this, because Banner's got a penalty. So
I don't know. I think it's just his damage is too much, Lars, on the left-hand side. It's just too slow. I think that's the problem he's got. I have to think he's pushing as hard as he can, but it's just the damage, isn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, it is the damage. Unfortunately, we can't see how much damage he's got, but it must be. It's not too bad, but it's enough for you to lose enough time to see what Antoine is doing as well. Antoine's got back himself up to 9th though, so the safety car did help him. I did say he was going to hope for a safety car, but he's no longer last anymore, and he's looking to get 8th from Banner. He will get 8th at this rate with penalties. As he goes to the right-hand side of the bus stop chicane, there's a bit of contact there heading towards the final corner. I think more damage maybe for the Haas driver, so they're not too careful. Still side by side into the start-finish straight. Benny all in the middle of this too. He can take advantage of this as well, but Haller stays, Antoine stays in 8th position, not far behind his teammate, but Banner, that was very, very close from him. Banner, I think, looking much quicker than Antoine on this lap. Meanwhile, the Renault driver, the sole Renault driver this race so far, picked for, I believe, the softs. But I want to see how Banner gets this move done. I think Benny's going to probably get Banner at this rate. So Banner must have picked some sort of damage, maybe. Can Benny get Antoine? Nope, he can't. So Banner's dropped it down to 10th, and if he's not careful, he'll be out the points.
He's not got any damage, but I think I like Benny's general grip on the sauce. He did, I think, a spin earlier on the restart, mind you, but he's been a good recovery since then. And he's showing the sauce still have some, but it just depends how they handle the end of this. If there's going to be any risk of a puncture or anything for these guys who are on the softs. Elting unable to break out of the DRS range of Lamakina. So, yeah, not really going to help him too much. Petrucci, though, will be plenty motivated to go for it on Lamakina because he knows that's for the race lead. He's got a good 2.7 seconds to use on the teammate, so maybe that'll be Elting's ticket to success if Petrucci decides to try and make a move for the race lead.
Yes, now it'll be a different race winner if KJ pulls the 3-second gap off, which is a tough move to ask, I would say, for Elting, but anything can happen. Benny, on the other hand, is in a similar situation to Bahrain Short, where he's double-sided on the mediums and is on the softs. Is he going to go the same line as what we saw the likes of Banner do? He did go for it, but he decided to stick by at the moment. Banner was looking like he was going to go for a move there, but he couldn't make it stick either. Banner's going to go to the right-hand side to turn 1. Usually not many people make for a move there, but this time he makes it work, and he's up into 9th place. A lot cleaner this time from the Haas driver. That's not good news if you're the likes of Benny on the sauce, because your tyres are going to overheat like crazy. Meanwhile, Ascom's out of the race. He's retired from the pit lane. Not surprised. He's probably given up there. Petrucci.
Sorry, didn't know if he was going to go for that there, but he's got so close. It's just that any moment he could go for that move, and it would be for the race win. We've got to remember that, because look at him. He's all over Lamakina. He really wants to get this done now. Try and run the outside of down the hill. That's it. Never going to work. You lock up enough in there already on your own. If you're trying to make a move into there, you'll just you'll be off the track if you're not careful. But yeah, really aggressive stuff from Petrucci. He wants this lead.
Yeah, it looks like it as well. He wants to get his first win in PSGL, and he got pole, don't forget, earlier on, and he was blessed by the restart of the lobby, but of the fresher tyres, but he seems to be coping with his mediums very well. He's on fresher mediums compared to Lamakina, and obviously KJ's tyres will start to die soon, so...
I think it's happening now, Jess. I mean, he's lost all his pace. He's lost all his ERS as well.
Yeah.
This is going to be...
it's going to be a nightmare for KJ.
So it's going to be Lamakina and Petrucci getting by him pretty soon, I'd imagine.
I would say Petrucci being at the most advantage at the moment with the fresher tyres. So I think Petrucci could go on and win this if he could get these moves. I think that... I know the tyres will make it to the end regardless anyway, but... With the advantage that he's got, I think he's got the ERS of... no, Lamakina's got the ERS advantage, but Petrucci has the tyre advantage anyway. So it's probably even Stevens, I would say, between these two. But fortunately, for any Elting fans, he's not going to get the race win, unfortunately, because there's no way he's going to pull 3 seconds. His tyres are, I would say, toast at the moment right now, as Lamakina's going to probably go for an easy move now. He's already on the back before the DRS straight, so he's going to the right-hand side, easy move. Here's Petrucci going to do the same thing. He is not. So Petrucci has got to wait for the next lap, so that's advantage Lamakina then. So a shame for the Red Bull driver who wants to chase for the win, but he's going to know that Lamakina's tyres are probably going to die out soon too, as Benny, I believe, is still... He's got 3.4 seconds to make up a Hadler, so I think Benny's going to stay in 7th. Lars will
just
probably
made
stay
that
8th.
move. He has just made that move on Lars, so he's quicker than him, isn't it?
Yep.
So he could well make the gap. Well, surprised this tire's looking so good, but again, it's the front wing damage, isn't it? That's what's doing it, rather than the tire advantage. Because like that is much of an advantage now, judging by what's happening with Elting at the moment. But Lamakina nearly out of the DRS range now, and might be able to get that done soon. We'll see. Elting in the grass will help.
Yes.
And it might just be the way Lamakina ends up winning this race today.
And I think Lamakina could save his ERS, but he's not. He's pushing on his ERS. You don't really want to do that, but if you're under threat from like the likes of Elting and Petrus, then probably you will be using up your ERS potentially as well. So Petrus has got DRS, so as KJ did not have DRS. So that's probably going to be an easy move for Petrus on the next lap. So KJ's got to get in within a second, heading into the detection point just before our Rouge. So KJ's going to be in a lot of bother, I would say, on the penultimate lap if he wants to hold steady. KJ, I think, is going to lose out on the podium as well. So I think it's going to be a double Red Bull podium. Who would have thought that? Suku, who had trouble in qualifying. Well, I wouldn't have thought that he would be in short of actually getting a podium. He's actually in short of the podium. Meanwhile, Petrus goes side by side from KJ. And KJ softs are definitely dying. So KJ, unfortunately, up to 3rd. Probably will be dropping down to 5th. Meanwhile, M Short is having the same issue. This time with Hadler up into 5th. So yeah, the softs are dying. And I think that's what the same issue Benny's having too. So yeah, that's the disadvantage of the safety car, really. Because they would have hoped they would have gone on the mediums for a bit longer. But it is what it is, unfortunately. I think KJ would have won, probably would have been in shot to winning this race if it wasn't for the safety car.
Yeah, I might have had a chance, but well, the penalty didn't really help either, did it? That sort of what done him in as well, because as you say, he's probably not even going to get on the podium now, unless Suku has any sort of mistakes in the last lap. Petrus as well doesn't look like he's going to be able to get into towards the DRS range of Lamakina, so Lamakina getting the move done on Elting early was good for his race, because it's going to give him the luxury of hopefully a last lap with no DRS for it, although Petrus is doing his best to try and close in, but there's a detection point. I've just gone through it, and as you can see, Petrus is not in DRS. So that means Lamakina into the final lap should be good for the race win, and Petrus should be good for 2nd. He has a purple final section, so he is giving it his all.
He is.
And even if he gets DRS at the hill, just not going to be able to close. Let's see, is he going to be in there?
No, he's not. He's not.
He's not going to be there, is he?
I
think Elting. How is his tyres looking? You can see the graining on his front right.
He's out of ERS too.
Yeah, I do worry his tyres will go and blow up on him. He's just going to make sure he gets us to the end still. But here comes Suko. He's on the podium anyway. No point fighting this Elting. He's got to focus on keeping that 3-second gap to Hadler to keep his P4.
Which he is at the moment. He is at the moment. So I think he's going to basically just try and keep the pace of Suko. He should be fine, and he's not going to do it if he does that.
Yeah, punch up.
Yeah, punch up, yeah.
Look out for Benny, look out for M Short. Well, their tyres have the same problem.
Probably.
Because that is, the risk of being on the tyres.
And he's out the race. He binned it.
Wow. He's just given up, hasn't he? The tyre, no point once the tyre's gone. So what was that? Rear left or rear right?
I didn't see.
Tire. It was a rear tire that went. So just look on M Short, look on Benny. Benny XM, I'm pretty sure he had a spin on the restart.
I think Benny's under threat from a punch more than M Short.
Yeah. So we'll keep an eye on them. But before we watch the potential tire drama get even more dramatic, we've got a little Lamakina who's coming through to the bus screen. He got by Eltink early. That was the key. He also made the undercut strategy work. It's been a brilliant race from Lamakina. He's come across the line. He's going to take a well-deserved victory here in Spa. Petrus only half a second behind the 2nd place. And Suko will complete the podium. Let's see about these tyres. How are we looking? Benny is good. I think M Short's he's also good. He's gone across the line good. So well done to those guys, keeping the tyres alive. Lars with a broken front wing ends up P7. Not too bad from him. By the way, Hadler was 4th as well. Just forgot to mention him. Antoine 8th. World Rally 9th. And Balner will be 10th. And then Luca 11th. Unfortunately, similar on his on his debut. Not the best day for him. Only 12 finishers. We lost Fabi as well on that last lap.
Yeah.
He's binned it on the start-finish line, I think, or something. Or was that Lamborghini? I'm not too sure, but...
It was Lamborghini that binned it on the start-finish line because he was celebrating. But I don't know what happened to Fabi. I'll have a look at that at the end. But drive of the day in game goes to M Short. But where did M Short start? I can't remember because he's still... I'll skip the podium.
14. He was like 14th, wasn't it? 14th, 15th?
Trying to see. Yeah, 16th. Yeah, I can see why the game giving him in-game drive of the day. But I think his tyres just probably was good there. But he still managed P5, so I would say that was a good result for him. But Lamborghini is going to now take over the championship lead from Lars heading into the next round of the seasons with Petrus in second, Suku in third, Hadler in fourth. I think he'll be up there in the championship as well after that good result. M Short in fifth. Then we got Benny, Lars, Antoine, well rallied, and Banner is your Lars points finisher. No points for the fastest lap because the fastest lap was outside the top 10. People outside the top 10 with fastest lap don't get any points. So we've got Luca and Marquez, your final finishers, and your long list of retirements are Fabi, Elting, Ascom, Toxic Tomato, Fenny, CC Brain, and Caden Forbes. CC Brain, unfortunately, did not make a stop there. And Caden Forbes, I don't think made it past the second or third lap. But I'll have to say, Lamborghini controlled this race today. Started second, and he took the lead, and it just all went plain sailing for him. And he is a championship leader for a reason, and he's the second driver this season, apart from Jan Patwa, to get another race victory.
Yeah, good day for Lamborghini. Good drive. Like I say, had to do it on the strategy as well. It was really clever stuff, and yeah, well managed. So it was a very well-deserved victory.
We'll try and get him in for the podium interviews as well. I think there was a few races where we haven't had any podium interviews, so hopefully we'll get some today.
Be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it will be nice because we want to hear from the drivers. I'd like to hear from Petrus as well with that battle that he had as well. But we'll see. Obviously, it's not mandatory, of course. But any drivers of the day that you're thinking of?
Oh, I mean, to be fair, it's always worth pointing out the people who made up most decisions. For example, M Short did quite well. But honestly, for the strategy alone, making it work quite well, and the race management, Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Gotta give him the credit that he deserves for the win, don't we? We often overlook just the race winner, saying, oh, well, he went from second to first, how special is that? But he did, to be fair, have to make it work really well and manage the race. So I'll give it to him.
I'll give it to him as well. I think it's going to be one of the few times where we'll probably agree on it. So yeah, I'll have to give it to him. He drove an amazing all race, and I mean, he looks comfortable from the get-go. He liked this track. He needed the good luck after his bad luck last week. So could this be the start of things to come? Could we see the start of his championship campaign from then on? Because I think he's looking the favourite so far. Probably one of the first times this season where we probably will see a championship favourite. We saw that with Young Power last week, but he's been promoted. Hopefully we won't see any more promotions because it looks like Lamborghini is the favourite. Doesn't look like we get any interviews by the looks of things. M Short actually finished on 80% and he did not punch her. So he was driving very, very careful on that last lap. I wonder what Elting's tyres were like, but you can get punched from, I would say, 70%. So M Short must have driven very well to not get a puncher and get fifth place. So he goes my honourable mention, I have to say. I don't know how he did it, but I want to see how the other people got a puncher, but we'll have to wait and see. Where are we next week? I think we're in Zandvoort next week. I'll have to double check. Yes, we are in Zandvoort, which the last time we were here, the first season 26, it was a pretty good race, I have to say. I hope we get a good race next week as well. So we'll be at the final half of the final race of the first half of the season next week. Who would have thought it? It's been a good season so far. Hopefully the drivers will live up to expectations next week. Will Lamborghini keep up his winning streak? We'll find out next week. And make sure you join us then. We still got the final few tiers of the night streaming their Belgian Grand Prix. So we've got F1 and F5 and F6 streaming right now. So if you want to check them out, please feel free. But until next week, from myself and Owen White, we'll see you next time for the Dutch Grand Prix. Have a good evening, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.